Ladies and gentlemen, some of you might have heard how Trump declared Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and it's been pure chaos and fights and loss of life ever since he made this announcement. Trump recently threatened the UN in pulling funding if they went against his decision. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, 128 nations went against Trump's decision. See, I'm going to show you how when you go on foreign sites, and I have said this before, people hate the US. They hate the US. They hate the US. I think right now, the two most hated countries on this planet is the US and Israel. And it's because of what they do in their foreign policy. And now you got Trump at the helm that is just outright threatening finance, pulling finances from from different countries and threatening all this blackmail stuff. And people are not taking kindly to what the U.S. is doing. What's new? So I'm going to read some of the comments from the foreigners. We can see which countries support Israel and USA. We sick of Zionism. And here's another comment. Even South Korea went against the US. And actually, Canada really didn't agree with the US either. They abstained from voting. That way, they didn't have to, they would remain neutral. But even Canada didn't agree with that. So, fuck Rothschild. Now USA is taking notes which country needs a regime change. Well, they can't do that for 128 countries. Nikki Haley for prison. America and Israel are the only threats to the world's peace and the only ones destabilizing Middle East. The U.S. influences dying just like its economy. And it really is. You know, see, a lot of people don't want to face the truth. America does not have the power it used to once have in this world. It is seriously dying. More and more people all over this world are disrespecting, don't even have no respect for America anymore. And I can tell you, it's speeding up now that Donald Trump is in office. Okay. Looks like 128 member nations are going to be accused of being state sponsors of terrorism and invaded. Trump takes everything personally. Children and narcissists usually do. America is a terrorist state. I'm from the U.S. of snakes, and this is not right. USA should stay out of other countries' way of living. Big question. Why Trump administration looks so desperate? UN member states have the right to condemn US decision, and the US has the right to stop aid to any country it wants to. Well, you know what? Pulling money is not really going to be that big of a deal. Now many countries are willing to just take the chance of US pulling their money. I mean, you heard the president of Ghana when I did that video. He told France, take your money. We want to be able to make it on our own. We're not looking for loans. We want to stand on our own 2 feet. So pulling your money from people, I don't think that has the same bite that it used to have. U.S., world's biggest bully. How many times has some pompous U.S. politician spouted about democracy? Here it is. The world has voted, and now they don't like it. That's true. Should make it clear that out of the 137 countries that voted, 128 oppose Israel. That's 93%. Wow, this is open bullying, and the world allows it. Nikki talks about American sovereignty, but forgets that other sovereign countries have their right to vote or reject this utmost and crazy need to further worsening the Middle East situation. Here's another one. This is the best Christmas present ever. I guess snubbing the U.S., right? Here's one. She is threatening House. So she pretty much went on that stage and threatened the UN. And they pretty much rejected her. That's why she walked out, because she got rejected. UN should take action on US and Nikki for blackmail and bribery. Threatening countries for opposing them should be a crime. Okay, let's see here. I think Nikki is Hillary's sister. 9 countries sold their soul to the devil. 35 are not sure to sell, and 128 haven't sold their honor for money yet. She's about to snitch on 128 nations. Oh, well, America can't fight 128 nations. That's just fantasy. Okay, let's see if there's any more. Even many of the USA allies are against the US decision. Shame on USA, excluding innocent citizens of USA. Yeah, and now they are defunded. I don't think anybody's worried about the US money. If they really were, do you think they would have sat in there and opposed you? Don't think these countries don't have each other's back. That's where the US failed to realize, whether they got your money or not, a lot of these countries got each other's back. So where you pull funding, somebody's going to step up to the plate and loan those countries money. Make no mistake about it. Russia will even do it. They did it for the US election, didn't they? And look at this one. Can't wait to see America fall. Best things happen. Don't ask money from USA anymore then. Nobody, trust me, people are going to stop asking the US for anything. It's coming down to that, especially with Trump in office. All right, here's one. When America finally get it that they aren't God and the world don't need them anymore, it will be a rude awakening for them. America throw their money around like a weapon, but no one is afraid of their weapon anymore. People around the earth is choosing freedom and peace over bondage of America and their money. Woo! Now that's a black eye right there, y'all. It's so many posts. I'm not going to read anymore, but I'm going to let you listen to this video where they took the vote to oppose Trump's decision to call Jerusalem the capital of Israel. Let me go ahead and play this video.
In a major rebuke to Donald Trump, the United Nations has voted overwhelmingly to condemn his unilateral decision to recognise Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Only 9 member states, including the US, voted against the resolution, while 128 others believe the holy city status can only be resolved through talks. Well, prior to the vote, the US had threatened to take the names of those supporting the resolution.
When we make a decision about where to locate our embassy, we don't expect those we've helped to target us. On Thursday, there'll be a vote criticising our choice. The US will be taking names.
We express our regret over the fact that the United States of America exercised a veto.
The recent decision of our UN member states to recognize Jerusalem or Al-Quds as the capital of Israel violates the international law. The result of the vote: in favor, 128.
All right, y'all. But yeah, these are all the countries that oppose. But they're, you got to understand things are changing in the world. The U.S. standing around talking about we going to take our money away from you. She got up to the podium and pretty much said that. And as you can see, these countries just ignored her and went right ahead and opposed the U.S. anyway. Things are changing, y'all. Things are changing. And the fact that Donald Trump is at the helm here in America, a lot of people do not even like or respect Trump in this world. Many of them don't even take him seriously. People are literally, and I'm not kidding you, laughing at the U.S. over Trump. It don't take a rocket scientist to see this man ain't qualified to be president of anything. But I'm going to start showing you more and more of how the foreign countries are reacting to the U.S. It's not the same, ladies and gentlemen. They do not have the same level of respect for the U.S. in this world that you even saw 10 years ago. It has really changed. The view of America is really declining worldwide. Okay, it really is. I'm going to go ahead and finish the video so you can see exactly what happened and how they did not respond at all to any bullying that came from the U.S. or threats of money being taken away. They completely disregarded that.
Well, the UN Security Council had made an earlier attempt to adopt a similar text, but it was vetoed by the United States. Caleb Morpin reports on Washington's failed efforts to influence this latest vote.
In the lead up to the voting, we heard in the Assembly Hall Nikki Haley. She remarked that the USA has the right to put its embassy wherever it chooses, and she went on to say that the USA will not forget the upcoming vote.
The United States will remember this day in which it was singled out for attack in the General Assembly for the very act of exercising our right as a sovereign nation. We will remember it when we are called upon to once again make the world's largest contribution to the United Nations. America will put our embassy in Jerusalem. No vote in the United Nations will make any difference on that.
Now, a number of countries that don't normally see eye to eye on international issues came together. Saudi Arabia and Iran, regional rivals, voted together to condemn the United States and Israel. Furthermore, we saw North Korea and South Korea, 2 other countries that don't tend to get along, voting together.
The use of the veto obstructed the Security Council and made it unable to perform its duties.
Undo decades of work of the international community.
It is considered a blatant violation of the rights of Palestinian people.
Must be resolved through negotiation between the two parties.
A UN member state threatened all the other members. This is bullying, and this chamber will not vote to do that.
Countries that often align with the United States, NATO members, members of the European Union, they also voted in favor of this resolution. Now, this comes despite the fact that a lot of pressure was placed on countries in the lead up to the vote. Donald Trump talked about the possibility of removing foreign aid from countries that voted in favor of the resolution, and a letter was sent to 180 countries saying that Donald Trump would take it personally the way countries voted. Whatever maneuvers took place and efforts by the United States to impact the outcome seem not to have really worked. The international community has strongly voiced its opposition to recent moves by the United States regarding Jerusalem.
Well, Donald Trump's decision about Jerusalem's status drew criticism from Arab and European states as Palestinians also claim the city as their capital. The announcement sparked protests across the Middle East, with the city of Bethlehem becoming the epicenter of the violence. We heard from several analysts on the issue who think the UN made the right decision to withstand Washington's pressure.
I think it's unfortunate that the United States finds itself under this kind of leadership, which is undermining the standing of this country internationally. If countries acquiesce to the U.S. and if they accept being punching bag for the American administration and voting in accordance with directives from Nikki Haley, then what's the point of having the United Nations?
I think we are now entering a new era in which a major power resorts to blackmail and bribery in order to secure votes in the General Assembly. But this is the first occasion on which a state, particularly a major power, permanent member of the Security Council, has resorted to such measures. I do think that it would be deplorable if the United States were to carry through threats of this kind, because that will indicate to states in future situations that if they vote against the United States, they do so at their peril.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So 2/3 of the UN General Assembly backed a resolution to reject President Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, despite overwhelming pressure from Washington. Look, they sent letters to 128 nations threatening them not to go against Donald Trump. And they also threatened to pull money from countries. And guess what? They all got up. The vast majority of the UN voted against the U.S. anyway. What does that tell you? It tells you that it is clear the U.S. is losing their grip on this earth, period. Please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. And don't forget to hit on that notification bell, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.